don't know if anybody's going to come on or not, but anyway, I'm going to get right to the point. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation, full physical, skull split, brain injure, body mutilation, full physical, identity theft victim, identity change victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, they're guilty of injuring, torturing, sex assaults, kidnapping, medical blacklisting through their criminal doctors at Lennox and Addington County General Hospital who are negligently involved in co-committing and covering up OPP crimes and their accomplices. OPP are guilty of murdering an entire bloodline. Ex-chief or commander, he is a sex slave trafficker. Staff sergeants, years 2019-2021, kidnapping and sodomy, sex assault. Shannon Cork, Constable Ward. Dave Weiss, Robert Lucas. Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and Shelley Huffner, all Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. Lennox and Addington County General Hospital doctors who are criminally involved in co-committing and covering up crimes, their sex slavery crimes, their torture crimes, their drug overdose crimes, and their other murders. Dr. Tatiana V., aka Margie V., name and file falsifier, medical blacklister, girlfriend to Stacy AMHS. Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Joy Hadley, ex-CEO Cubby Duck, and patient relations Aaron Brown. Justice of the peace, obstructions, accusations, threats, and intimidations. Their accomplices, their untouchables, the ones that they are given free drugs and drop charges to, guilty of torture crimes, guilty of murdering my mother, guilty of killing my dogs, guilty of my identity theft, with the intent to commit murder. If anybody thinks that full physical identity theft cannot happen, I can 100% prove my words, but ones that are guilty of this and OPP untouchables, the ones that they cannot arrest, the ones that they can and will not touch because they are scared of the Hardy Boys gang. A guy named Bill Woldridge, aka Robert Cross, he lives at 149 Center Street North, alleged Hells Angels Ontario chapter captain. Blair Frederick Hardy, meth trafficker, boyfriend to Spencer Mills, and guilty of stalking, brain injuring, highly obsessed, meth head. He is guilty of rapes, financial thefts and frauds, welfare disability. He believes that he is my owner. Blair Frederick Hardy is a serial killer. Jason Gimpy, two-step Allstein, guilty of identity theft with the intent to commit identity fraud, insurance fraud, disability fraud, and murder. Tyler T. Bag Lake, guilty of torture crimes, killing my dog, and guilty of attempted murder on me. Bert the Hitman Hustler, ex-NHL player for the Philadelphia Flyers, sex slave trafficker, guilty of attempted murder. Robert Barry, guilty of attempted murder, sex slave trafficker, a truck driver, and a possible serial killer. Brandon Andrew Barry, guilty of torture, guilty of attempted murder with intent. Melissa Peacock, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Tyler T. Bag Lake, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Raymond LeBlanc, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit, guilty of stalking, guilty of torturing and killing my dog with Tyler T. Bag Lake in 2023. Dale Hartwick and his uncle Harry, guilty of attempted murder with the intent to commit for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend and Dale Hartwick's boyfriend, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, guilty of attempted murder, guilty of torture, guilty of my identity theft or being involved with it, guilty of attempted paralyzing, guilty of attempted murder and sex assaults. All OPP drug traffickers, sex slave traffickers, they are all registered sex offenders and junkies. They're gang stalkers and the ones that are untouchable and above laws in Napanee when people are disappearing. It is through the police. It is through doctors. It is through full physical identity thefts. It is through being slave trafficked. The lies, the time buying, the cover ups. Poor, homeless, elderly, disabled, beware. They are also causing homelessness as well. Damage is done to me. Full physical changes, full physical identity theft over the course of 5 years by homosexual low-life cops and their accomplices. Damage is done. I now look like an inbred piece of shit who is only approximately 45 years old, who is a serious crackhead, who is an obsessed homosexual, who sells laced fentanyl in Kingston and commits murders, and I am not taking a fall for any OPP untouchable. They are scared of Blair Frederick Hardy. These cops are actually petrified, scared shitless of their boss, Blair Frederick Hardy and Robert Cross, because of who they are. You go see a lawyer, you mention the name Spencer Mills, you go to get help, and it's automatically no. This is how dangerous these cops are because they know that if they help any victims of theirs, their family and their lives will be taken as well. OPP have no problem having elderly killed. They have no problem having dogs killed. And they have no problem ending bloodlines using their pieces of shit. Right now, Dale Hartwick, I want you arrested and charged along with Harry Hartwick. I now share DNA with each and every one of these pieces of shit, and it can be 100% proven. I no longer look like myself, and Dale Hartwick is dying of cirrhosis of the liver, so he don't give a fuck who he kills. Isn't that right, Dale? You're a fucking low-life piece of shit. You are a sex slave trafficker, Bill Wooldridge, or the one known as Bill Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North, Hells Angels, pedophiles, sex slavery, trafficking, garbage is what you are. You are born nothing and you're gonna fucking die of nothing. You're delusional. You're a murdering bastard. You stalked and killed my mother while calling my mother mom. You think that you and I were switched at birth. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth and believes that he is also my dad, but he was calling my mother mom when he was stalking her. This is how delusional this fucking junkie lowlife is. And this is why OPP are probably so fucking scared of him. While feeding him drugs, while protecting him, while Shannon Cork laughs in my face as he went on to stalk and kill my mother with intent, and she knew what the fuck was going on. She damn well knew what was going on. One way or another, Bill Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, or the one known as Bill Wooldridge, Robert Cross of 149 Center Street North, I want you arrested and charged for full physical identity theft, stalking, murdering my mother, and my full physical identity theft. I want you arrested and charged with attempted murder on me, Chris Wood. One way or another, it's going to be done to the Hartwicks, Hearns, who think they're above laws because they blow cops and are junky, low-life drug traffickers with and for Robert Kane. This is why they're all involved. Public beware because damages are done to me. I now am a full physical identity theft victim. Compliments of Lennox and Addington, Ontario provincial police, their accomplices, and their fucking doctors who are criminally involved in co-committing and covering up crimes. As I said, when people are disappearing, it is through a full physical identity theft, and I can prove my words. 5 years ago and through this by homosexual slave trafficking cops who are nothing but terrorist killers. Van Alstyne and the rest of you bastards, you are gonna answer for this, you low-life Napanee junkie fucking OPP untouchable pieces of shit garbage.